The Houston Rockets put up 40 points in the first quarter and really never looked back. On the brink of elimination, they did everything right from the jump. Wasn't quite a Warriors team we're used to seeing, but tip your cap to the Rockets and the adjustments they were able to make to get this Game 5 win. We welcome you back into our Atlanta studios, into Playoff Central Live. Even with a loss like this, those veteran guys they know what this is all about. This isn't going to stop them from playing a Game 6 that maybe most people are expecting from the Warriors, especially going back to San Francisco. But for the Rockets, specifically for their starters, Thompson, we got to highlight him a little bit because what he was able to do both defensively and offensively. He turned a lot of his points from what he was able to do on the defensive end of things.
He is. I mean, watching him and his brother, the twin, over here at OT in Atlanta, they are guys that understand how to compete. They use their athleticism on both ends of the court. And I just think, you know, for young guys, they set the tone. He set the tone for the Rockets today. My assignment as a rookie or second-year guy to guard Steph Curry one-on-one, and I got steals, but I thought for sure the attention to detail from the young guy, like Thompson, was huge, Channing, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I just, again, you're looking at all these clips right here. They are paying attention. They're like anyone but Steph, and you're limiting his ability to get a read on the game, to put his mark on the game. And then one thing that they did do well was they rebounded, or they didn't allow a lot of offensive rebounds. Now, for me, the starting unit, right? Obviously, the end of the game, they got a bunch of offensive rebounds, so that's why they have, 25. But if you look, that first unit, 7. And then the rest of them, really nothing. So if you could get stops and get out and rebound, you're going to give your offense a chance to get out and go. And look where they're picking stuff up.
This play right here was huge. This is one of the best ball handlers we have ever. You know,
Hey, you don't really see that too much.
You don't see that, not in the open court.
No. And it's exciting to see how Golden State's going to react back home.
Welcome back to Playoff Central Live. Game 5 between the Warriors and Rockets. Houston on the brink of elimination, but they came in with their backs against the wall and absolutely delivered from the start. Jalen Green, step back 25-footer for 3. Green finished with 11 points, 7 rebounds. Still in the first, Dylan Brooks to Van Vliet from the corner. Houston went up 20-8 early in this game. They scored 40 in the first quarter, you guys, and really just kept that offensive rhythm going.
They did. I love the ball movement in this first quarter. You see guys cut and move without the basketball. They had perfect rhythm on both ends, defensively and offensively.
That was their largest lead of the series. That layup right there. Then you've got Tari Eason driving. This was a part of 14-0 Houston run. Steph Curry did make his first shot midway through the second. He finished with 13 points. They didn't really play the starters that second half, though. Van Vliet, 25-footer for 3. Van Vliet with 26. That was huge by Thompson. You don't see a pickpocket on Steph Curry too often, guys.
Not at all.
Because he doesn't wear pockets.
That's why you're right. Thompson driving layup, doing it on both ends of the floor. 25 points, 5 steals, 6 rebounds for Thompson.
Nice play.
Just executing.
After that right there, Steve Kerr said, we're done. Starters done for the night. But the Warriors bench, they don't give up. Moses Moody finds Kevin Knox. Hits that 3 in the corner.
We're down 20, then 17, and uh-oh, look what we got right now.
There's the floater. Houston up by just 13 after that. We got Knox misses the shot. Braxton Key misses the layup. Dylan Brooks gets the rebound. Warriors try for the jump ball. Not too surprised here, guys. Things get a little bit chippy.
A little skirmish. Everybody's a little upset. If you're the Rockets starter, you're back in the game.
Frustration.
Love to see it.
And then Cam Spencer gets in his face a little bit. You've got some other guys, too. He gets ejected. Şengün and Jackson Davis both get technical fouls after that.
How does Spencer get kicked out?
Well, Well, the Kia Most Improved Player finalists, you had Zubats, Cade Cunningham, Dyson Daniels, and you can see right here, Dyson Daniels with 44 first-place votes is the recipient of the prestigious award. We got to catch up with Dyson Daniels live from Australia earlier tonight. And joining us now is the 2024-2025 Kia Most Improved Player, Dyson Daniels. Dyson, congratulations. Thanks so much for joining us here on the show from Australia, too.
Thank you very much. It's an honor.
Okay, so even though this was your third year in the league, just the increased role you had, the career highs that you put up in all your stats, basically, do you feel like this is just the beginning for you in terms of what you can do moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, for me personally, I wasn't happy with my first 2 years. And I feel like, coming into this year, I really, kind of made a statement on what my game is. And, I've always been a defender, but I was able to, take that offensive leap this year. And, for me, I feel like I could win this award again. I have that much more improvement left in me. And it's going to take a lot of work, but, I know what I'm capable of. And I'm looking forward to going out there and, being a better player.
Dyson, get an opportunity to start the way you did and to make your improvements. What was the difference that you felt this summer? Was there something that somebody said? Was it something you looked at film? What was that turning point that you saw where you knew you were going to make a huge impact in this season?
I think it was just my mindset, flipping the mindset. I think, like I said, I took a backseat role, coming into the NBA, and you can't do that, in this league. If you do that, you'll be out. So it was my mindset change, going in there, playing with confidence, not caring about making mistakes. I had a really good Olympic campaign as well, which, kickstarted me going into my career here with Atlanta. And I was just coming in with a different mindset, going out there, not caring who's in front of me, going at everyone every night and being that version of myself I know I could be.
Dyson, Steve Smith, I just want to say congratulations, start off. And you talked about the confidence. When you were acquired by the Atlanta Hawks, what was your role, I would say, from the coaching staff? We all know you could play defense. You've been elite, I think, since you were young, watching you play. But on the offensive end, what was the coaching staff telling you? How much leeway did you have to be free on the offensive end?
Yeah, coming in to Atlanta, first day I went and sat with Coach Q in his office, and he told me he just wanted me to be myself, go out there, play free, and do me. And, that's, I think the best thing, someone can tell you is when they don't give you restrictions, they let you go out there and be free. And I was able to go out there, play alongside, obviously Trey, who's a super offensive talent. He made my job a lot easier, playing in the pocket, playing off him. And I think we have a lot of guys on this team that just make everyone's job easier. So for me, it was like coming in, filling that two-guard role, being that defender, but also taking that offensive leap. And, I'm just happy I got this opportunity to play here in Atlanta.
And Dyson, last one from me. I know this is just the start of the offseason for you, but do you already have a goal in mind of something you want to work on, something you want to better yourself for next season?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I have an all-round game that can get better at everything. I don't have, certain skills that, I'm not good at. I think there's everything that I could, obviously shooting's the big one, but, being able to get to the rim, finish a little better. But for me, it goes all-star now. I've become an all-star in this league, and I think I can do that. It's just about, going out there, putting the work in, and then, coming into the year, feeling good.
Awesome, Dyson. Thank you so much. Congratulations again on the award.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You guys, a surprise guest by a very proud mama.
Look at that smile.
Miss Daniels there. She was just telling us just how proud she is of her son, Dyson Daniels. Congrats once again on winning the Kia Most Improved Player. So this is what it's looking like for Game 6 and potentially Game 7 if we take it to that. It's going to go back to San Francisco for Game 6 on Friday night, you guys. And my question to you, do the Rockets come out with this same intensity? Obviously, their backs were against the walls. They have this great sense of urgency, and they're going to need to do it again. But is it going to be a different story because they are now on the road? Smitty?
Well, they have to come out with the same intensity. They got to come out with the same defensive philosophy and also add offense and have smart plays. And then they're going to have to match the energy of the Golden State Warriors and that fan base. Steph, you can't let Steph get off and start hitting a couple bombs, and they get going, they get rolling. So it's going to be huge the first 5 minutes of this game.
Channing, do the Warriors allow this type of game to happen again Friday night?
Absolutely not. Trust me, absolutely not. I've played against them enough in these type of situations. Their calmness is more analytical. Like, here's what we didn't do. Okay, we know what we need to do. Where Houston's like, let's replicate this lightning in a bottle, and then let's try to get a guy who's been below par to have a great game. They're still trying to get Jalen Green to have a great game. But obviously, can Amen Thompson play defense like that? Can Sengun and can everyone else contribute? And then who's going to come off the bench? There's still what ifs, but I think that game is going to be more intense. So when you ask what does Houston need to do, they need more, because that arena is going to be rocking.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be must-see TV.
Game 6, Friday night, back in San Francisco between the Warriors and the Rockets. For now, we'll see you right after the Minnesota-LA game right back here for Playoff Central Live.